What's going on, guys? Welcome to the 2019 Everyday Struggle Awards. For the second year, we're celebrating the artists who we felt have made the biggest impact on culture over the past 12 months. Today, we're handing out 10 awards, including Best Hip Hop Album and MVP of the Year. I'm Nadeska. Please welcome my co-hosts, Wayno and Akademiks.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, you were so official right there. I forgot that we were on a ghetto show called Everyday Struggle.
I try to be professional every once in a while. Let's go with you guys.
Man, I don't know. The lighting in here, this just makes everything feel different.
Well, things are different. I got a hat off, which you already know means a special occasion. I only do it once a year.
Yeah, I don't have mine off because next year my line is coming back. I just don't want to alarm anybody. I'm just telling everyone.
Wait, did you book the surgery?
Nah, not yet. But when I do it, just nobody treat me different. I just don't treat me different.
I mean,
Tory Lanez has inspired me. I don't care what nobody
different.
say. He's inspired me.
Well, we said like we're gonna hold you too. If you don't get it by next year, that
I'm
means
gonna do it.
Listen, trade in the rollie, get the hairline. Trust me. Okay.
Gotcha.
All right, guys, this is our very last episode of the year, so it just made sense to recap the highlights of another great year in music. Are we ready?
Yeah.
We are ready. It's been a very up and down year. I think it started off very cold because Nipsey passed, but like we got into some music later on.
Absolutely.
We did lose some greats, and we're gonna honor them later in the episode for sure. Our first category honors breakout artists who have left an indisputable impact on culture over the past year with music and entertainment. So these are the artists that we expect to see and hear a lot more from in the coming 12 months. Let's take a look at the 2019 nominees for Rookie of the Year. Megan Thee Stallion, Roddy Ricch, YNW Melly, DaBaby, Polo G, YBN Cordae, and Lil Tecca. All right, guys, so if you guys remember, Lil Baby was the winner in this category last year. He was up against people like 6ix9ine, Gunna, Trippie Redd, Juice WRLD, and Tierra Whack was our honorable mention.
I feel we made the right decision last year, so it's definitely important we make the right decision this year. It's at least from my assessment of like this category, it's really, my mind changed a few times within the year, and like we discussed it on the show. Like, starting off the top of the year for the first quarter, the first 3 months, very high on Blueface, someone who actually didn't make the end of the year nominees, right? So you see how it's not only about having a moment or a few months, it's about consistency.
Right.
So the nominees that we agreed on, DaBaby, Megan Thee Stallion, Melly, that's my guy, and Cordae, of course, Roddy Ricch, Tecca, and who is it? Polo G, like they were consistent, either dropping multiple projects or at least dropping music throughout the year that kind of, made it a realistic possibility for them being Rookie of the Year.
So are you guys judging them primarily on the music here, or also on their presence and just overall impact?
Well, I was judging off of like, of course, music. That's where it starts at. But then we also got to look at impact and like how they're viewed to their peers. I think that's another big thing. When you get the support of your peers in the game, that tells you where you're gonna be at. But yeah, generally impact along with the music.
It wasn't easy though, I feel like, narrowing down the categories for some of these, right? So if we're immediately gonna narrow this down, let's say to 2 or 3 people.
Okay, so I could give you my estimation off rip, right? So the person with the biggest one song, Tecca. Ransom, crazy, right? Album came out, it had a couple joints that were okay, but he's really known for that moment that was Ransom. I look at Cordae, great body of work, maybe not one notable moment that stands out. I look at Megan Thee Stallion, really notable for like her whole social presence and really like leading a movement. And then Roddy Ricch, I look at for kind of like complete body of work and consistency. But DaBaby as well, I look at not only in terms of music, great body of work, good moments, good songs, but also just overall entertainment factor. So like, it's a really mixed bag it depends on what really matters to you.
Absolutely, DaBaby was entertaining on many levels, but like Cordae, I mean, like it was so funny. Me and we always joking about this. Like last year we was talking about, can somebody name a YBN Cordae song? This year he's nominated for a Grammy.
And we noted that he's not necessarily a singles artist, but he did put out a great body of work. And we have to mention that at the time that we're filming this, Roddy Ricch has not dropped his album yet.
Right.
For me, I thought it was between Roddy Ricch and DaBaby, and even though I love so many songs that Roddy Ricch put out, I felt DaBaby wasn't operating like a rookie this year, and I felt like he was operating like more of an MVP, so I had to give him, of course, the Rookie of the Year because he was definitely not that. It felt like he was above and beyond.
Yeah, you know what? We're saying all of this. I don't want to negate my girl Megan Thee Stallion. Like, you know what I mean? Like she had a hell of an impact, not only with music, but just impacting the culture. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just the hot girl summer thing. Like, that was a narrative that ran this whole year with memes and jokes and all types of shit.
And if you're talking about her peers, not only do they respect her, she also gets a lot of love from the legends as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, like, I lean towards DaBaby a bit, you know?
Okay, so it's between Megan and DaBaby for you, and Roddy Ricch and DaBaby for you.
Roddy Ricch and DaBaby for me.
Okay, so then unanimously, we're now gonna go with DaBaby.
DaBaby.
I think that's what we picked.
I think that's what you picked.
Right.
How'd you guys feel about the second project he dropped this year?
Kirk. I was real critical of Kirk, but the only reason why it wasn't a bad project. The thing about it was I just was expecting him to make certain type of music based on the stuff he was saying in interviews, and also the single that he dropped. You know, I thought it was gonna be like more personal and
The intro.
Yeah, the intro about his dad. And you know what? I don't want to give DaBaby flack about that because he still has a ton of time to get introspective and have those, you know, vulnerable moments. But you know, Kirk is not my favorite out of this year. It's Baby on Baby, but Blank Bank is my favorite to both of them.
Hey, I think we, you know, like while judging it, we review albums at least once a week when there's new projects, notable projects at least. Like, we sometimes we judge them a little like harshly too, because I do have to say like it's DaBaby's like first year mainstream wise, and you know like think about the Migos. The Migos kind of came on the scene 2012, 2013. It took till 2018 for Offset to make Father of Four, right?
Yeah.
And that's where we credit him for a lot of growth and development.
Right.
Like, you know, DaBaby just finally got like his introduction into the industry and mainstream with his first album. You know, of course, the intro, it felt so personal that we thought we were going to be introduced to a lot more. But I do believe we have a lot of time to go. And to be honest, one thing that, you know, we have to credit him with is that not only is the music great, but like he's bringing us visual experiences in an age where visual experiences seem to not matter as much, or it seems to be like kind of like almost forgotten. So, you know, he's coming with the full package, so credit to him on that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
the charisma is absolutely undeniable. I'm gonna open my tiny little envelope here and confirm that our rookie of the year is DaBaby.
DaBaby.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, he had to get that. And I mean, remember when
If Roddy Ricch had dropped this project though, maybe.
But you know, it's another thing too. Remember when dropping one album was just a thing? He dropped 2 albums this year and did solid numbers on both. Had a top 10 single, all of that. Like, that doesn't just happen. So you definitely got to give it to him.
And since we're counting the past 12 months, to be fair, Roddy would definitely be in contention for our 2020 awards, the album that he drops.
Yeah.
All right. So our next award. Now, hip hop has obviously become a part of the fabric of global culture, but we can't forget where it was born. So in this category, we're celebrating the rappers who turned years of grinding and hustling into stories that resonated with audiences across the world. Here are the 2019 nominees for Streets on Lock: Moneybagg Yo, Young Dolph and Glock, Youngboy Never Broke Again, Lil Durk, and Kevin Gates. So last year's winner was Moneybagg Yo. So he's making another appearance here. He's up against people like G Herbo, Lil Baby, Lil Durk was also in this category, and T Grizzly, who did drop a project this year.
Right.
This is, you know, I think Moneybagg Yo, like, this is his sweet spot. You know, he won last year. It would be amazing if he was a repeat winner. But I'm not gonna lie, this year, maybe the press and like the media aspect of it, we haven't seen him ascend to that, you know, like notable like figure that we could relate to. But this was Youngboy's, and remember the last category, Rookie of the Year, I said maybe there was an honorable mention. He was it.
Right.
Youngboy was the notable mention for Rookie of the Year because I think he got the streets on lock.
Right.
And in reality, like you could tell by the music, how people resonate to him, like he has a particular audience that's really almost kind of secular.
Yeah.
Like let's really, and keep in mind, no disrespect to anyone else on this list, and this is I guess me making my case for him. He sold over 100,000 first week, and he's probably the only person on this list that we could say has sold that amount that we don't know a recognizable hit. If I asked you, what's the hit song from Youngboy that pushed his project all the way to the top?
Yeah, but he's not a single-driven artist. Yeah.
But you know, that works for people who are connected with the streets or connected with a certain type of demographic. His demographic is the streets.
Yeah.
So when you're an artist, and Durk does it too, and let me not like, you know,
We're not downplaying those.
Yeah, let me not
accomplishments.
downplay anyone else. Like Kevin Gates got it too. You don't got to drop a 2 phones or any type of other type of single for people to fuck with his shit. Or even Moneybagg Yo, definitely Key Glock and Dolph. But like Youngboy for his the fan base he's built up, he's just made unapologetically street music, and it's paid off in a way that people used to say you can't get that. That was the thought of the earlier world. You can't get that. You got to go mainstream. He stayed with it and got.
Well, for Streets Unlocked, you know what? I really like Durk for it. Reason being is because like Durk is a young veteran, right? Like I think he's a very young veteran. Like people are not paying attention to how long he's been in the game and how young he is. I mean, like when did the whole drill scene really kick off? Like 2012-ish, right? 2011, 2012-ish. Out of all of that, he's like the only one that really lasted. And he's gone through bumps and bruises. Remember we joked about him having like questionable records, the whole like little relationship shit he was doing. Now he's a respected artist, and this year, unfortunately, he had a like little trial and tribulation he's going through, but he bounced back with a heavy project. And he's putting up numbers, you know what I mean? And it's like people are going to get him for features. So for me, that's my favorite for this category. Yeah.
Yeah, I think when I look at Durk, I look at how he's gone. His comeback isn't just 1 year. It's like over a 5-year period, sorted out label issues, finding himself, growing as a man.
Right.
He's been making amazing records as well. So, you know, I got Youngboy, but I'm not mad at Durk or Moneybagg Yo. And by the way, you know, salute to Key Glock and Dolph. They came on to our show.
Absolutely.
You know, again, they have been unheralded in certain terms because they do feel like they don't get all the respect in the mainstream media, but they put out a very solid project. They're touring Europe with some street, hood, Memphis nigga records.
What is it that you think are making artists like Durk and Youngboy sort of resonate with global audiences who don't even speak English as their first language?
I'll say one thing in short. I think people, no matter where around the world you are, you could always spot authenticity, raw. And it's what brought Vice to Chicago in 2012, 2013. You know why? Because when something is so raw that it's not really readily presentable to the public, you almost want to tap into it because sometimes the music is as close as you'll get to it. And I do think at this point in time with streaming and everything else, that's the thing that's bringing some of the most authentic music all around the world.
Okay. Absolutely. I mean, the internet makes the world flat. You know what I mean? Like you can see what's going on the other side of the world from a hashtag, and like everybody that's on this list, you don't question their authenticity in no way, shape, or form, and their music backs it up. So everybody got a strong case here.
Yeah. Not an easy decision, but I do have my handy little envelope here. Let's see. So here we go. Our winner, 2019 award for Streets Unlocked is Youngboy Never Broke Again.
NBA.
Congrats.
Here we go.
Can't dispute that.
All right, let's see, what do we have next? All right, so every year we're introduced to an overwhelming amount of new artists, but only a few of them really stand out in such a crowded game where trolling honestly just isn't enough to cut it. So this award celebrates the rappers we think have the potential to be the next big thing. The 2019 nominees for Next to Blow are Lil Keed, Doja Cat, Lil TJay, Shoreline Mafia, and Rod Wave. So now in 2018, I'm sure you remember who won this. We had a good laugh at you.
Who won this?
Roddy Ricch.
Roddy Ricch.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
and this was well deserved,
that.
but I just got extremely emotional. We couldn't help but laugh. So Roddy Ricch did win this. He was up against Blueface, Key Glock, Tierra Whack, and YBN Cordae. It's always a good category.
Absolutely.
A good variety of artists in this category too.
Yeah, my favorite for this is Rod Wave. Like because you know I'm not gonna lie, I'm late to the party when it comes to Rod Wave, but the impact that he's having, like to have 2 projects out that was like in the top 10s or the top 10 on Apple Music at the same time when everybody else is dropping like new albums is kind of insane. And I think that like, you know, the thing about Rod Wave is like he says he's talking about the same shit that everybody's going through. It's just his delivery. You know what I mean? Like his delivery, like Ak would say, from the heart.
From the heart.
Nah, but he you know, he sings, he's mixing melody along with street shit, and I think he got a perfect blend. And I think he's gonna be one of the next biggest guys. But I can't front on Lil Keed. Like Lil Keed to me has one of the best projects this year. Also like Lil TJay, gotta give it up for New York. You know what I mean? Lil TJay in the land of littles. You know what I mean? Like he came and he's standing on his own. So I think Lil TJay is gonna be one to watch as well.
I'm super conflicted with this category. I feel like Lil TJay has already blown, but
Really?
but maybe not to the level where like he's like so notable that everybody just knows him by face. And like, you know, I even posted, like, for example, yesterday was, you know, everyone had their Spotify stats up. He did 500 million streams.
Wow.
And me and we had a conversation about it, and I said, and he even promised, he said, next year I'm getting 1 billion. And I do believe he's getting 1 billion next year. I feel like he's been on records and people are liking his songs, but they're still getting to know him.
Right.
And it's always good when your music is leading the charge as long as your personality's not that far behind. And I do believe that, you know, he's a likable person. He's from New York. He's bringing a different type of attitude, a different
And
type
he's
of
smart
swag.
in the way that he approaches his music. Like, he'll tell you that he actually spent a lot of time working on the project instead of just compiling a bunch of songs quickly just to get something out.
Exactly.
Very deliberate.
So I really like him, right? But then Lil Keed. I feel like Lil Keed, if we're all in the land of accepting that Atlanta is dictating, moving, and sometimes spearheading the culture, when you hear a sound or an artist like Lil Keed, how is he not like in the forefront of shit? Right?
Definitely.
Like he's literally one song away, or he might be where Baby was before Baby got a
He's
Drake
one
feature.
song away. He's definitely one song away.
He might be just that.
Yeah.
Gets a Travis feature, gets a Cole feature, gets Kendrick, Drake. It's out of here, right? So you see where he's at, and by the way, he's dropping projects. And remember we were having that conversation about Atlanta leading shit.
Right.
He dropped a project, like, people still don't maybe know all that much about it, but still did like 20, 30,000. That's huge numbers. One of Atlanta's finest right now. But then I also have to say Shoreline Mafia, because I feel like we've collectively, and I'll take this one on myself because, you know, sometimes I got to be in the know as well.
Right.
West Coast group, you know, they have been popping over there. If you go over there, you would imagine that they're one of the biggest acts in hip hop.
So sometimes you need to touch down in the city to actually see what's up.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Like I tell academics to do all
I
the
know,
time.
go
Take
out
your
and
ass to a
touch
Wait,
show.
you ain't telling me about no Shoreline Mafia.
They had a show in Webster Hall here like a month
You ain't
ago,
go.
bro. Nah, I didn't go.
That's besides the point. He knew what was happening, though. He knew what was happening.
I seen them made in America though.
So, like, again, I'm shouting out so many people, but also I got to touch on Rod Wave. Rod Wave came across, like, you know, like my timeline when I saw he was working with Kevin Gates. I'm like, wait, Kevin Gates developing artist? And then I heard him, and that's what everybody keeps saying. When you hear his voice and you hear what he's saying, it makes you feel a certain type of way. And again, a lot of sometimes the music we like is for the moment, it's in the club, it's, you know, fly by night, and then you hear this motherfucker, and he got people tearing up.
Nigga, when he
got
said,
people in their feelings.
When he said, I get off my feelings off that hen dog.
Academic felt that one in his soul.
He felt it in his soul.
But so for me this is hard. I might have to go with TJay. You know, Keed is there, but I know that song might come at any time. But I gotta put it up to Rod Wave. I'm gonna tell you another reason why with Rod Wave. He dropped his project. You know me, I'm a big numbers guy. Project did, I think, about like 10 to 12,000 first week. You imagine everybody's second week is usually 65 to 75% down next week. So he expected him to do 5. You know what he did? He actually did 28. His second week. You know what it means? It's an increase. Word of mouth and people actually fucking with it, like organic shit. You gotta give that man credit. You feel me? I seen P.A.B. Rock said the funniest thing recently. This is like the ghetto, like Ruben Studdard. It's like Youngboy meets Kevin Gates. My guy, bro. I'm telling you.
I like that. Two great people.
I'm going with TJay though.
Shout out to Gates. Are you going with TJay? Because
I'm going with Keed.
my little envelope here holds the final answers. Gentlemen.
And by the way, before you even announce,
Okay.
this little round table to decide these, it's not just academics picking or Wayno picking or Nadeska picking. We have all our, like, you know, editorial staff and our production crew. They're into it where they could, you know, vocalize what they think. And it might not always be what Wayno thinks or what I think or even what you think.
We go for the voice of the people here.
Absolutely.
We would like to represent you guys. And of course, if you don't like our picks, we're going to hear about it on Twitter at Everyday Shrug with 2 G's.
Make y'all own show.
Wayno's ready for it.
I'm ready for it.
All right, so our 2019 award for Next to Blow goes to Rod Wave.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I actually thought it was somebody else that won.
I did too.
Well deserved. Well deserved.
That's what I was like. I gave that disclaimer. I'm like, I'm like, imagine you pick somebody that didn't win.
I ain't gonna lie, Rod Wave, like, he deserved.
Well deserved.
Next year is gonna be a crazy year for him. Gonna be a crazy year for him. Salute him.
And by the way, he part of the big nigga club, including Lizzo, Rod Wave,
Who invited
Akademiks.
you though?
Academics.
It's like 5 people in that club.
I mean, I'm just here.
All right, so our next award honors the people who make the music move. The producers who provide the template for our favorite rappers to really shine. Now, there's never a shortage of catchy beats, but producers who help to elevate the craft are really a dime a dozen. Whew. So this is the category last year we were talking about splitting into two because we felt like we couldn't even give enough credit. But our nominees are Wheezy, Jetsonmade, London on the Track, Hitmaka, and Internet Money. If you guys remember in 2018, Murder Beats took this one home up against Boy Wonder, Kanye, Metro Boomin, and Tay Keith.
Yo, you know what's crazy? I mean, everybody on here has made like a strong case. And like Ak said, behind the scenes, it took a lot of crunching because there's so many people that can be considered for this. But like,
we changed this category a bunch of times.
we have, yo. Wheezy, Wheezy, when we talk about Atlanta and all that, I think he's defining like a generational sound for them. You know what I mean? Like when I think of New York and I think of Swiss Beats, so I think of PK Killer and what they did for the Locks and Rough Riders, or like, you know, how Just Blaze defined the era with Rockefeller. Wheezy is doing that with YSL and Lil Baby and all these other guys.
And even people like Meek, so he did Going Bad, and he did Hot. Two of the biggest records of the
Hot
year.
You did Mood Swings as well?
Out of here.
Yeah. But I mean, like, London on the Track. Then it's like London on the Track, to me, he's gonna have a lot of longevity. Not that anybody else won't, but he's already proven it. I mean, London on the Track, from switching from Thugger and Rich Homie Quan and doing all of that to everybody else he's worked with to now breaking Summer Walker. You know what I mean? And them
From A-Boogie to Summer Walker.
A-Boogie, Summer Walker, like he's doing tons of shit. Then I gotta look at my man Hitmaka though. Berg, who's had one of the biggest transitions from the early 2000s up until now. Like, not only is he making these records, but he's on some real Diddy shit. Like when I look at Diddy in the early 90s, he said take hits from the 80s and make them sound crazy. Berg is taking, Hitmaka is taking all the hits from the mid 2000s and turn them into hit records today, which is also keeping our favorite artists from the mid 2000s alive. So like, Hitmaka's my favorite for this.
Okay, Ak?
I'm gonna be honest with you, I feel offended.
By
the producer community. I feel like I'm owed an apology.
Excuse?
Because one of the people I'm gonna be championing in this, recently I was on Twitter. I got a little personal story, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I tweeted out, because I also tweeted out what rappers I felt fell off in 2019.
Oh,
and people had mad names.
I seen what you did.
Mad names. Everybody was like, oh, he was lit, he fell off, and it was cool for the rappers. But I felt it was fair that in a few days that I also tweet out what producers you fell off. And oh my sweet Jesus. These producers came at me like I almost was told my name mama. Everybody from Sunny Digital, Wheezy chimed in. I'm like, Wheezy, I'm about to like defend you. This your year. But producers, what I do realize, you know, if you've ever watched Everyday Struggle and just watch me, I'm a super, like, I always go for producer rights and for producers to get their proper credit. Producers and engineers are making these artists, right? And pretty much they all disagreed with me in saying, it's not us falling off. Maybe it's just we don't have placements that year or whatever, but it's not us falling off. Sure. And if I had to speak about these particular nominees, right, for MIDAS Touch, Wheezy, you heard him on so many of the biggest songs. I give him the biggest songs. I give Jetsonmade, I give him DaBaby, and that sound, and that sound that has defined DaBaby's career so far. Of course, I then go to London on the Track, been through many different eras, but now with him and Summer Walker, he's showing, I think he's crossing that bridge of Metro. And what I mean by that is a producer that's no longer, oh, he has a hot sound, he's also becoming a personality. And of course, you know, it does matter a little bit, even though we don't really factor these into awards. Yeah. Him and Summer, like, they're dating, but you also hear him a little bit more vocal these days. Right. You get me? And we used to hear a lot of beat makers, they're like voiceless, like the beats come and then they just go away when they go away. But then also look at Hitmaka. Man, he is taking, as you said, a more Diddy-esque approach to shit. Right. I do have to say, if I'm picking, and by the way, salute to Internet Money as well, they got some, they're very influential in Lil Tecca's career, and they're even putting out records themselves. Right. I have to go with Wheezy. This is Wheezy's category. There's so many other notable mentions that could be in here. Kenny Beats, other people, but we couldn't have everybody here. I'm going Wheezy because, listen, and also, they did say one thing to me while the producer, they were all checking me. And you know me, I love clapping back.
So you
but
learned
know,
a lesson, or?
No, I ain't learned no
not.
fucking
Okay.
lesson. You think, really, I was off the henny, like, should I respond? But I'm like, nah, I like these guys. I can't beat them.
Right.
They did say fans, and no matter, even if we're experts, we're still fans. They're like, sometimes people may not know who's doing what if there's not a tag. A lot of times with these people, Hitmaka, I don't know if he has necessarily a recognizable tag, but Wheezy, you hear that tag.
Yeah,
So you think
got
it's
it.
essential? Because Hit Boy told me in an interview that Kanye told him it was corny to have a tag on. And that was early in
What
his
year
career
was-
when he
what
was
year
making
was this?
he was making big songs, and it
Yeah.
probably would have helped him to have that. So do you think for every upcoming producer, it just makes sense 100% to have a tag on?
Yeah, I mean, well, we gotta go back. I gotta go. I mean, we don't got a lot of time, but go all the way back to Swiss Beats, saying Swiss Beats. Yeah, like that's always been a thing. Timbo has had his shit, and another thing I want to add, just about Jetsonmade. Craziest thing about him is he's only 18 years old.
Really?
Wow.
For him to be considered, and he just turned 18, I believe. For him to be considered amongst his peers at this level to have these hit records is really telling about his career, where he's gonna go.
I'm gonna say one thing about Jetsonmade, just like you said. For him to be this young, I'm wondering if DaBaby is gonna continue to develop with him. A lot of times, when an artist gets on with the producer, sometimes they switch up. Sometimes business just don't go right. As to your point about the drop, I do believe initially the drop gives you the brand. I do believe because of the nature of hip hop, one to switch the sounds every so often, you might chill out for a while. Mustard had his wave of every time you heard Mustard on the like you
Mustard on the
fucking
beat. You know what it is.
You knew what it was. But now when you listen to like, did he even have a drop on Ballin'? Or
Yes, he does.
Is it the same drop?
Yeah, it's the same drop. He's never taken his drop out.
Nah, I've heard him with
No,
tracks
he's-
where his drop has
but-
Maybe you just
It's
got
on
so used
Ballin'.
to it.
Because it's a sample that plays, and then you hear it's kind of low. It's not as loud as you hear.
but like it's less more recognizable, and I do feel like for producers who are seasoned a little bit more, like it gives them, like people don't think like, oh shit, oh is that producer who used to run 2015? Again, unfortunately with hip hop, like people really associate sounds to errors.
Okay. With
do we-
all of that said,
Who do we pick?
I love that you guys really don't remember, so it's actually like a real
Yeah.
award show just unveiling for the first time. All right, so the 2019 award from MIDAS Touch goes to Wheezy. Congratulations.
I'm not mad at Wheezy.
Did you just try to peek at the card like I wasn't about to read it? It's good with you.
Not because I know you saying we were part of picking, but I don't really remember
It's
this
like-
shit.
I don't remember either. Dead ass.
I could have just
don't
picked
remember.
names out of a hat and you guys would have been like, all right, bet.
Right.
I guess that's what we're going
I don't want
with.
nobody tweeting at me saying, yo, y'all really doing that?
But salute to Wheezy.
No, of course.
Deserved.
Well
Well
deserved.
deserved.
All right, ready for the next one?
Yeah.
All right, so who said it best? Who delivered it best? Who had us hitting repeat? Now, everybody loves a good hook, but the real ones always appreciate a truly great verse. These are the 2019 nominees for Verse of the Year. Pusha T on Palmolive, Drake on Omertà, J. Cole on Middle Child, Rapsody on Sojourner, Sauce Walker on Lakers vs. Rockets, Benny the Butcher on Crown for Kings, and Gunplay on Nobody's Favorite. I know you guys don't remember, in 2018, Jay-Z won this category for his verse on What's Free. J-Rock was in contention, so was Joyner Lucas, Nipsey Hussle as well.
JC won an award last year?
Yeah, nigga, off of What's Free. What are you talking about?
We got bad, man. Or I got bad.
Yeah,
We do a lot of shows. It's
I'm
all
like,
a
We
blur.
do a lot of
It's
shows.
all a
But
blur.
no, yo, I ain't gonna lie. This was a really, really, really tough category. Really tough
For you,
category.
Wayno came with like 10 different fucking names.
No, because you know what it was? It was like, it was a lot of, we picked through a lot of songs. It's some songs that we were picking through that were like singles that that people knew, but I also wanted to make sure that certain songs got highlighted. You know what I mean? And that's why, like, I went hard for that Gunplay, man. I had to
Right.
get Gunplay in it because Gunplay, while everybody might not, he hasn't had the best career as a solo artist, but anytime he's a feature, he shows up. There's never been a time since Port of Miami, the first one, that he hasn't showed up. And his verse on Nobody's Favorite was just like, he had Twitter in a frenzy. You know what I mean? Because people was like, oh shit, Gunplay still got it. You know what I mean? You do Love and Hip Hop, everybody think that you can't rap no more. You know what I mean? He still got it. Then Sauce Walker for Lakers versus Rockets. Like what's
Nigga
crazy
went hard
is,
for that song.
Nah, I absolutely went hard for that because I mean Westside Gun, of course, they have a pedigree of just making sure that they always are lyrical assassins. But fucking Sauce Walker, I didn't even know he was on the song. I listened to it mad times and I was like, ooh, oh, that's Sauce Walker. And I'm like, damn, like, why is nobody talking about this shit? You know what I mean? I think he deserves his nod, but Then of course, you know, Pusha T. Yeah, let me highlight my man. You know what I mean? Pusha T or Palmolive. That's another one that
I feel like he's in contention every year for best verse.
Show me a year when Pusha T wasn't rapping at a high level. Whether he's talking about coke or not, he never had a whack verse. You know what I mean? So, but Sojourner, man, by Rapsody, to be on a song with J. Cole. And not only hold your own, I don't want to be disrespectful. And
just say outshine. Cole's not going to be offended.
But
cool.
but Rapsody went fucking crazy on it, right? But then Middle Child. I think J. Cole's Middle Child verse, the first verse is very defining when everybody's like, man, he don't rap enough. Or he only talk about certain shit. The nigga only talk about college. Nah, he went in on, and he left it open for interpretation for you to say, who's that about? If that would have been Drake, everybody would have had more conspiracy theories about who the fuck he was dissing. I felt like he was saying that to everybody, to the critics. You know what I mean? But I go with J. Cole.
Ak probably knows all the names.
Well, here's the thing. Wayno had literally like a super fan of the Lyrical Miracle, like Wet Dream going. Trust me, like, he wouldn't let me get Playboy Cardi on. He wouldn't let me get that on.
You know, he did try to put Playboy Cardi on.
He wasn't trying to get that on there. I mean, he wouldn't let me get a little baby, like, nice little verse on there.
But Lil Baby can rap, don't do that.
Yeah, no, you're right. But like, trust me, I say that to give you credit because all you lyrical niggas, Wayno's holding it down for you. Okay?
Thank you.
Now, let me start off. He's massaged Pusha T enough. I don't have to talk about that.
Okay, I feel like that was a very light mention.
Yeah, it was a very light mention.
Carry on.
Hey, Drake Omertà.
I was surprised that you would start with Drake.
Right.
I'm going down the list. It's
yeah,
the
okay.
second one.
He wasn't
Massage.
even
About to give him a sauna right now.
Okay, you know I'm skipping past that. You know he does what he does. Don't do that, Wayno. J. Cole Middle Child for me, honestly, you know, I've been saying, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I keep telling y'all, man, like, and even when it comes to Big Sean, but it was Big Sean and J. Cole, even though J. Cole was delivered more than Big Sean. I don't like beta male rap. I don't care, like, you don't have to be confrontational. You don't have to be dissing niggas. But I don't like when niggas is not claiming it. And my only, like, critique of Cole at times was, even when I saw that he had an interview last year, I remember I kept referencing it all year. I said, yo, this nigga is saying that he don't want to be, like, one of the people in competition, even though I know he wants to be the best of his ability, but part of being a king is recognizing you a king among everybody. You got to take on challenges, whether it's direct or not, but you got to compete amongst your peers. And I was waiting for that. And I wasn't sold on Cole's year until he dropped that joint.
Okay.
I wasn't sold on his year. When he dropped that joint, I said, finally. I don't know if it was him buckling to pressure of people saying stuff, or maybe, like, I think we kind of all agree that he just kind of got it in him. This time it was a perfect storm for him. Like, yo, I'm just going to do this shit. But, like, this joint told me he was ready to come take the crown. And to be honest, it's one of my favorite joints even till now. By the way, one of the best streaming joints out of probably any joints that we're talking about. Lyrical, but so lyrical and good, performed well as a singer.
And also a layup for his team, right? Because this
Big
was
facts.
the Dreamville show, and
Big
this
facts.
it made the album go directly to #1 when it dropped.
Big facts. Rapsody, we got to give her a shout out.
Absolutely.
By the way, as I just give Cole so much credit, he's on the track with Rapsody, and shit, after listening to her just go in song after song, to even come away from that to say she out-rapped, or even like we actually prefer her verse, that's a big nod in itself. You know, what else did I want to mention? Benny the Butcher too.
Yes.
And the only reason why I'm mentioning this junk is because y'all know me. Black Thought, my guy. That's my guy. That's my guy. That's my guy. And to be honest, like, when I listened to the track, I expected Black Thought to wash him. And that wasn't the case. And to be honest, I was actually really impressed by Benny Butcher. Wayno, you know, like, he really, he preaches and supports them, that whole collective.
Griselda, they just dropped another project.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
But I'm still kind of getting into their music slowly. Right. But when I listened to that joint, because, you know, we had to review it, and I sat with it over the weekend, I was like, yo, this nigga looked like he knew he was on the track with Black Thought. He knew he had to step it up, even beyond a level that's usually high already. Right. So that's a well-deserved nod for me. I got to go with Cole Middle Child, because not only for the bars on the track, not only for the fact that I listened to it from start to beginning, even though we're saying best verse, from start to beginning, and it's almost like a freestyle, so we could whatever, but start to beginning, I listened to it. I think what it did for his career and his team, got to win.
I'll say this in closing, like, you watch Game of Thrones?
Of course.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Ak doesn't. But nah, I would say with
what
J.
season
Cole.
is this?
It's done, bro.
It's done.
It's over.
But what I say about that with Game of Thrones comparison, J. Cole is Jon Snow. He don't want to be the king.
Oh, wow.
He don't want to be the king. Y'all gave him that shit. Y'all called him the king.
He would choose to live on the other side of the wall.
He would choose to live on the other side of the wall. He don't want to.
Crazy.
That's dope, yeah.
You don't get it.
The guy who don't.
I'm just
But
if you
Jon
watch
Snow
Game
is
of Thrones,
probably
absolutely.
one of the
Yeah, I don't
best
know who
characters of all time. Yeah.
He wants smoke with everybody, but everybody wants him to be the leader, and he like, I don't want all that. Y'all want that for me. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, but I go. Okay.
Acts like you guys lost me. Enough of this
Right,
TV
right.
talk. One day you gotta watch it. One of the best
You
shows
lost.
of all time.
When Wayno not trying to debate, he brings some movie reference up that
All the time.
At least I'm glad when I catch them every once in a while. All right, so this is the actual one that it seems like they both actually remembered who we picked.
Yes.
2019 award for Verse of the Year, J. Cole, Middle Child.
Absolutely.
Congrats to the team.
Well deserved.
All right, guys, time for our next award. So I'm gonna admit, we're all sometimes a little guilty of getting caught up in social media antics, but real rap fans will always appreciate the art of lyricism over fleeting entertainment. For some artists, true success is measured by their pen. The 2019 nominees for Lyricist of the Year are J. Cole, YBN Cordae, Rapsody, Freddie Gibbs, and Benny the Butcher. A repeat contender here. So in 2018, if you guys remember, I'm sure you don't, J. Cole did win this category. Black Thought was also nominated, so was JID, Pusha T, and Royce 5'9".
A lot of heavy hitters last year. A lot of heavy hitters.
I forgot that Cole one, but I forgot that he also did drop his album last year.
Did have a full project out last year.
I definitely want to give some love to Freddie Gibbs because I feel like Freddie Gibbs even got snubbed from being nominated for a Grammy, man.
Bandana was a great album.
Bandana is a hell of an
And
album.
Madlib did that one together.
Yep. And Freddie Gibbs, I mean, like, you know what the thing is like it just seems like he not with no bullshit. He don't want to play like the industry games, you know, or politics in order to be recognized, and he should be recognized for his art. That's why we got him nominated here. I think he held it down with Bandana. Also YBN Cordae. I mean, for him to put together such a body of work, you know, first album, I mean, it's going to be remembered. You know what I mean? He definitely marked time with this. Rapsody. Like for real, like I don't even know what to say, man. I feel like Rapsody, she takes her time, and the reason why she takes her time, like her music is like a well-cooked meal. Yep. You know what I mean? It takes love to put into that shit. But then we got Benny the Butcher, man. Like I think Benny next year might get a little bit more recognition only because he dropped a 7-song project this year. You know what I mean? With the Plugs I Met, but then he was featured on a lot of people's shit, and people was catching up from his shit last year. But going into next year, I think Benny's going to be more recognized. But, like, this is a tough one. Yeah. This is a really, really, really tough one.
I'm not going to lie. J. Cole, after his project that he dropped last year, I expected him to go ghost. Expected him to go away like he normally does and take some time off. Instead, he really actually kept his foot on the pedal, and it seemingly he was about to drop again, but really was setting up his guys. But he was showing that he still had a hunger, even despite dropping a project that people really liked, that he was going to stick around. Yeah. So after seeing the stuff that he did this year, I'm like, man, it's hard to say Cole ain't in this, right? And, of course, he's a repeat winner from last year. But then, Cordae. Y'all all remember the moment. We had Accomplice Con last year, and and I really, like, it was really out of no ill intent. I just wanted to kind of guard all expectations of someone who is new. You know, like, what he's accomplished this year is not a given.
Right.
It's not a given that you drop your first project and you get a Grammy nominee. Like, that doesn't happen to most people.
Right.
Sometimes that first project, a lot of people don't hear.
Right.
So when last year I questioned on the live stage at Accomplice Con, I said, "Cause y'all name like YBN Cordae joint?" Wasn't really trying to play him, but it was also letting them know with a lot of expectations, we expect you to deliver. Right. And if you don't deliver, you might be an afterthought. Now, boy, did he ever deliver. Right. And I knew he was ready to deliver because salute to my man Ace over there. They started hitting me early. They said, "Yo, you want to come to the studio? We want you to."
They was trying to get you to pull up. Yeah, absolutely.
And he didn't feel away. He came back to the show and dealt with you one more time.
Hey, no. He's super respectful in that matter. But like the like, you know, he told me about those conversations of, you know what, like him and Ace, they went back and forth and like, yo, you needed Act to tell you that. You needed somebody to say, yeah, I don't care what everybody's saying, but are you really the guy? Because if you have all people just affirming you to be something, maybe you'll slack. And to be honest, after his project, I do tip my hat to him because he absolutely delivered.
He delivered.
So he of course deserves a spot. But the last person I'm gonna really highlight for this has got to be Rapsody. You know, Rapsody when she comes up to Everyday Struggle, you know, like
Ak was shook. He didn't know what to say.
No. Yo, she's a phenomenal artist. But like, you know, it's so unfortunate sometimes. Like we even get like pigeonholed into these conversations about even female lyricists with her. She's rapping with the niggas. She's rapping with everybody.
Right.
And the project, after she explained it to us and you really listen to it and you see the depth and conceptually how far she went, you realize that not only is she a lyricist, she's building out on concepts and really adding the lyrics and putting her skill and penmanship around it. Right. So this was really tough for me. And of course, you know, salute to Benny the Butcher and of course Freddie Gibbs, that's my guy. I've been supporting him ever since he got wrongfully incarcerated overseas. Right. But this one was super tough. I like Cordae, I love Rapsody. But I think I gotta go with Cole again, man. This was Cole's year to me.
2 years in a row?
This was Cole's year to me. I'm sorry. This is Cole's year to me.
Yeah.
Like I can't say anything else but that.
I gotta go with Rapsody only because she put out a body of work that contends with everybody else, like you said. You know what I mean? Like she contends, and that's the name of the game. I mean, like even if you are running your own race, by the time you put your product out, you want people to say, "Yo, is it better than this? Is it better than that?" And if you standing alone on your own, shit.
Fuck contending. We just had a conversation. Like some of the people on this list, she's on songs with.
Absolutely.
And we could talk about it. Did they out-rap her or did she really do her thing and probably even outshine them? So come on, fuck contending. She's not just in the league. She's putting up them numbers.
Absolutely.
And I respect it, at least when it comes to lyricism.
Right.
Eve is an incredible album, Bandana. Yo, much respect to everyone nominated in this category. It's really, really hard to make a final decision on some of these, but know that we have much love for all of you. So
it's crazy that I don't remember who we said we picked. Who did we pick?
And the 2019 award for Lyricist of the Year goes to Rapsody.
Aha!
Congratulations!
Aha!
You thought it was Cole for 2 years in a row,
Yeah, no, I
huh?
thought it was Cole, yo, because I'm like, this is Cole's year, man.
It's Cole's year.
But still, salute to Rapsody, man.
Rapsody.
Like, you know,
Family.
She came to our show this year. She also explained really in depth about how her project was really made and the significance of each track. She ain't just rapping to rap. And that's really important to know because some people, you be like, they can rap, but they rap to rap. She had a message that she was trying to convey. Women empowerment. This is a year of women
celebrating
being
powerful,
uplifted.
strong women. Yep.
Right.
Absolutely. So she did her thing.
Shout out to
salute
Rapsody.
her.
And thank you for the shout out. I gets a lot of shout out because he's always beefing with everyone. I was truly honored to be mentioned on this album. It's crazy.
Don't play the middle like Nadeska.
Don't play. Not an insult. Academics, relax. I think. All right. Our next category. So while some people were busy debating contenders for King of R&B this year, some artists were just focused on making great music. These are the young kings and queens who are nominated for the 2019 R&B Album of the Year. Chris Brown with Indigo, Ari Lennox with Shea Butter Baby, Summer Walker with Over It, Solange, When I Get Home, Lizzo with 'Cause I Love You, Lucky Day with Painted, and Khalid with Free Spirit. All right, so last year Tiana Taylor won this one with Keep the Same Energy. Keep that same energy.
Keep that same energy.
Keep that same energy. I thought there's a lot of good variety in this category this year. I know you guys are not R&B aficionados, but there were some.
Speak for yourself.
Excuse me.
Nigga,
You did
what
you
listening
no
to
no
that
no.
makes
In
you
his
an
defense,
R&B
he discovered
aficionado?
R&B this year. Wayno, you got to give him
I got a
some
Cuffy
credit.
Season playlist. It's lit.
Oh, word?
I've got all these people on it.
Really?
Cuffy,
Yes.
All of them.
All of them.
All right.
Kid you not.
I'm really impressed.
You know who he doesn't have and we don't have
Stop lying.
on here?
Who?
I know you ain't got it. Don't even play like that. Snow Allegra.
I'm gonna show you after.
I love
this.
Snow Allegra.
Snow Allegra, one of my favorite
Yo,
projects.
Wayno hit me on text like, you know Snow Allegra. I'm like, of
That's like
course
you-
I do. I was stunned to find. Yo, there's a lot of music I love that I'll never talk about on the show just because I'm alone out here.
Right.
So I get really excited.
Just me and you alone. Yeah, you're right. Wayno
I was in
listens.
LA, and somebody put me on the Snow Allegra.
She's put out a
And I
great
was
project.
driving around and I said, yo, Nadeska would love this shit.
She's
That's
so
why I
tight.
text you. I said, yo, you up on Snow Allegra? You like,
course
you
I am.
up on Snow Allegra? Of
course I am.
Nah, but I mean, there's a lot of, good projects in here. You know who else I took advice on listening to that you told me about? Burna Boy.
African Giant. Not mentioned here anyway. Probably one of my favorite, top 3 favorite albums of the year. Just
Right.
simply incredible. I should just do like a Nadeska episode that no one will watch. I'll just talk about shit that I like.
Okay, let's get
Anyway, let's get back. You want to
Nadeska.
talk about some R&B? Let's
Yeah,
hear it.
I love Burna Boy. Like, what are y'all talking about?
No,
like,
let's talk about this
culture, baby. Like,
Culture,
let me tell you this. I got to salute to my man Chris Breezy,
Okay.
the real R&B king.
I'm
All these niggas
surprised.
is trying to claim king. And I got to salute to him because, you know, I don't know if this is the 8th or 9th, might be even 10th.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, he's been out since around like 2000 and I want to say almost 6. And, you know, for him to be at this point in the game, and if you ask me, he's getting hungrier and hungrier each album in, because he does realize that it's not a couple of years ago where like he was in that limelight where the press is running to him. So he has to do more. Right. You know, of course, he's a great performer, but like you see this project and the last one before, he's giving you 30 plus tracks. And I do have to applaud his efforts. A lot of those tracks that, you know, before the last project, I was like, maybe a little bit too excessive. This project, I'm looking like, yo, you really put a lot of effort into it. And a lot of those tracks are lasting. Shoot, you know, him and Drake, they reconciled. And we all agree that No Guidance is one of the better tracks of the year. I also do have to give Khalid some respect because, you know, he's one of the motherfuckers that even if you don't want to see me, you'll see him.
He puts out great, it's like crossover pop R&B, but he makes great
This thing is always on the fucking cover page of like
Better
Apple Music.
Talk.
But
Yeah.
if you listen to his music, it's really, there's like a purity and like a realness to it, you know? I'm not too sure if you necessarily like would just chalk it as like a traditional R&B, like necessarily like more like a Daniel Caesar or something like that, but like he's definitely in the mix. My pick though, right, is Ari Lennox. I'm going with Shea Butter Baby.
Surprise.
I'm sorry.
We gotta give love to Summer Walker too. She already had an incredible year.
Oh!
She's admitted, no, relax,
Yep,
that
chill
she's been
out.
dealing with some social anxiety. She
Are you
might
taking
not
away
continue with her tour, but it's very raw enough. So I can't curse here. Amazing project. We got to give her some love too.
I was about to get to it, but since you are one of the R&B aficionados and we don't talk about it, this is your chance. You give love to some of the people
Got
you've been
the
listening to.
shine.
I finally get to talk about some R&B.
No,
so we
I
wanna
want you to talk
Ari.
about it.
So look, Ari Lennox would be my pick. Now, I feel like a lot of people probably got introduced to her maybe in the past 12 months. She has been uploading her music online since, I feel like, 2012. It's been years. She's released like EPs, tapes. She had a project called Ariography, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I think it took her some while to find her footing in the industry. Sometimes you need to find your right team. You know, she's been through a lot over the years, and I feel like with Shea Butter Baby, all of those years of struggling really came together. She got placement on the Creed 2 soundtrack, which was big.
That was big.
With Cole, she sold out a ton of shows. She's been present. Her and Summer Walker just did a little special together. I
love
feel
their
like
relationship.
this was really her year. You know what I mean? And then Revenge of the Dreamers 3 also gave her a bigger platform. I think this was really Ari putting everything together. A great year for her.
Absolutely.
Hey, I'm gonna just ask this one thing because I remember, I think I was like BT one time and I was doing like an end of year special, and like I was talking about R&B albums, and I didn't mention Solange. Now I don't listen to Solange a lot, but everybody was so uptight in that room when I said I didn't.
Oh, A Seat at the Table, incredible album. That's
Yes,
the one
that
from a
was
few
A Seat at
years
the Table.
ago.
Okay.
Fire.
What about her project this year?
It's cool. So I'll say this. On first listen, it's a lot more stripped and pared down than A Seat at the Table. At first, it feels sort of like a jam session, but the more you listen to it, the more you love it. And then she gets people like, I love on the last album, she had Lil Wayne on Mad. Great feature. I think one of Wayne's best features in the past 10 years for me personally. And then the way she had Gucci featured on this, she just gets people out of their pocket. Playboy Cardi
is on it too,
This is probably the album that made me believe. This and Tyler's project that made him believe. She just integrates artists in a way that you wouldn't expect. Another great project. I do love this one.
And when it comes to R&B, I might have to switch seats with her. You know, I switch, like I'm the moderator kind of like when she's not.
Yeah, we gotta let her.
She might have to start debating because she got a lot to say. But yeah, if I had to pick, I'm gonna go with Ari Lennox. You said Ari
Pick
Lennox.
Ari too.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick Ari too.
If Ari didn't win,
She got a strong project.
somebody in the control room probably just like.
Switched the card to screw with us, man. All right, here we go. 2019 R&B album of the year goes to Ari Lennox, Shea Butter Baby. Babe,
Nice.
Congrats, baby girl. You deserve this.
Absolutely.
So, the power plays in hip hop are getting bigger than ever, but if we added up all the music, the numbers, the influence, and an overall presence that simply transcended the noise, who really ran it this year? These are the 2019 nominees for MVP of the year. J. Cole, DaBaby, Young Thug, Tyler the Creator, and Post Malone. Quick refresher, in 2018, Drake did win in this category over Cole, Cardi, Pusha T, and Travis Scott. This was another really, really tough one for us to pick. Do you guys remember who you picked?
Of course I picked Champagne. Like, what is wrong with y'all? I picked the Orbs. No, listen, this year was a, when it comes to the heavy hitter, which is the MVP category. This is like the guys who are doing it across the board. There's usually notable names that you look to first. Where's the Drakes, the Kendricks, the Coles?
Right.
And I think Cole, to me, had like one of the best years. I said it consistently. And when I'm going out my way to say that, I'm seeing shit that's happening. Drake didn't drop an album this year. He dropped it last year.
Right.
He did re-release Care Package, but he only dropped two. He dropped one single, Money in the Grave with Ross, and he dropped 2 freestyles behind the bars.
Still did 140 the first
Yeah,
week.
with Care
That's
Package.
crazy.
No, still, but because of that, this is a down year for him, even though it did well still. He's did well as an artist, but it's a down year for him. So let's look outside of that. I felt this was Young Thug's. This was his year that you knew was coming, you just didn't know when. Right? It was like
The year we've been waiting for. The year that finally convinced Wayno he's the one.
Yeah.
Wayno fronted at first when we started listening to.
No, Rocket Man. No.
Stop
I didn't
playing.
front. I never fronted on Young
And
Thug.
you both hated on the London when that dropped. Just
I did.
FYI.
I'm not gonna lie.
Still.
I wasn't crazy about the London. I love the London now. But fucking, what's the
Another single we're talking about, or
damn Thugger?
Hot?
Not just hot. No. I forgot the point I was about to make. But Thugger, I have him as my MVP only because he not only did he have a great year as an artist, but he had a great year as an executive. Remember we was talking about, why is Thug, why is he dropping slime language and we think it is gonna be a certain type of album and it's not? Why is he dropping this and it's not? And he put a lot of that energy last year into Gunna. He put a lot of that energy into Keed, which came out this year. I mean, Gunna dropped his album.
Even Duke.
Even Duke. You know what I mean? Duke had moments on Thug's album, and then he dropped So Much Fun. So it's like, for me, Thugger was not only a artist, but he also was a CEO. So that's my review.
So, I got to beef with Wayno for this.
Why?
Because Thug be floating. And I feel like we got so many new Thug fans that are just crediting him now. Like I had to really debate with someone him on Hot or him on Bad, those are really good verses. And he got other songs as well, he was doing his thing. But if you really listened to his discography and thought this was the epitome and the height and the fucking apex of his talent that he's been displaying since early 2014, even before, you're not listening well enough.
But this is a great body of work.
But I don't know if people, if it
maybe
was
the
just
best
that.
curation.
Yeah, they mean as a body of work, as the official album that he's been teasing. He's dropped so many great products with Barter 3 that we all consider albums.
Thug been floating.
Of course,
Come
I think.
on. Did y'all hear him on Digits?
He is.
Y'all hear him on these
Look.
songs?
That's cool, and he has
A cohesive
been
body
floating.
of work. That's
Okay,
the official
but best
album.
mainstream.
That's what.
Yes, best made, top to bottom.
Becoming the megastar that he deserves to be.
Becoming a megastar, doing what Act loves most, putting up the numbers.
Yep.
After all this time of dropping shit, because sometimes people get tired of all right, this really your 15th debut album. People start doing that shit. For him to put out that body of work, have the year that he's having as an artist, then for Gunna to shine just as bright, for Keed to be shining just as bright, for Duke to be doing his thing, it looks like he is in a different space.
So let me go through how I got to my winner. So Thug, even though a lot of people love the body of work, I think him as an executive was a better year than him doing music.
Okay.
And in a sense of, Thug been making this level of quality of music before. He didn't step it up that much. Now, Post Malone. I would rock with Post, but Hollywood Bleeding, an album that I do enjoy, it's not like his previous Beer Bongs and Melly. And of course, he did ridiculous numbers as he does every single year. I do see him also introducing acts like Tyler Yahweh and everybody like that. Okay, cool. But I don't think that was MVP-esque. Of course he has the numbers, but I don't think Impact was MVP-esque. So we're left with 3. Tyler, the Creator, a nigga who put out a bunch of fucking beats.
You're not gonna play
You
come
hater.
on,
I
don't
thought
do
we were
that.
I'm not
past this
hating.
already.
I'm not hating on
You
him.
say he
Hold
put
up.
out a bunch of beats. Stop.
All right, hold on. Let me you could big him up later. But we got Cole and we got DaBaby.
Right.
Okay.
So I do like that. I'll say something nice about Tyler. He showed that he had a wide range. And what I mean by the range is that, if you listen to Tyler really early on, like 2012 and so, you heard a dude who seemed like being lewd and getting attention like that. And though there might have been some lyricism embedded in what he was saying, was the only way he could really tap in and get connected to people. Very different. These days, he's showing that he could be eclectic. He's showing that he could be eccentric. He's showing that he could be super across the board and be alternative.
What if he was always listening? Like he said the same thing
No,
about
no, no,
Thug.
no.
He's always been doing. But carry on.
No. I will sit here and debate with you. We could do another show. Before Flower Boy, are we gonna really say he was showing these sides of? It was mostly inundating us with the lewd moments. Of course, those things we saw hints of it, but we've never seen like Igor's
Not
a fucking
full on.
character.
Not full on.
Yeah, like this is a whole.
But
He brought us to a
he
place.
did it on Wolf. He did it
Okay.
on. He did it on Wolf, and people didn't pay attention. But he's another artist that's been training his audience. He's been doing it for a minute, dropping consistent numbers. He's always been doing a good low 30, 40, then 60, then 90, and now he did like a couple hundred, and you know.
And if we're gonna give people like Thug credit for making CEO moves outside of music, we cannot sleep on Tyler. He has his own festival. He's been making cartoons. Like Tyler's on another level of
Attack team
creative.
on me now. That's what y'all do.
No, I'm just
well, you know, that's the
moderating. Let
narrative
me
that
shut
that's what
up.
we always do.
Carry on.
But real quick, you know, and another thing is too, Cole can't negate the fact that as much praise as I'm giving Thug, he executive produced Thug's album, right? So he also stepped into the role as an executive. We got a lot of JID, which I love this year. You know what I mean? We got a lot of Earth Gang. You
Shout out
know,
to Earth Gang,
he's
Maryland.
he's Dreamville is exactly where they want to be. He's doing Puma shit. He's doing all these different things. So while my MVP for a second was Thugger, I gotta go with Cole. I do have to.
So I'm left with two.
Okay.
And then there was two.
And then there was
Got
two.
DaBaby and Cole.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm so impressed by DaBaby, because even though I think we awarded him Rookie of the Year. He's not operating like a rookie, man. I see this guy perform like he's performing like a veteran. His passion, his excitement, him wanting to like redefine and bring new energy into like music videos. It's like some people who thought were lost art forms, unless it was like Kendrick or so that was coming out with thematic albums that you would see like real powerful imageries. He's showing like, yo, I'm gonna make this shit fun. I'm gonna make this shit experiences.
Right.
And that's not like a rookie.
Right.
So instantly, after you hear Baby on Baby, I'm like, he competing for MVP. He competing for MVP. You hear some of his guest verses on other people's songs. And while some people might be like, yo, well, we kind of be using the same flow. Yeah, come on, man, stop. It's the first year. Let him rock, okay? He's killing everything. He's showed not only that, remember at first I was saying, and you gotta know, like, I made my 180. At first I said, I don't like that it feels like the music is good, but it's coupled with the bullshit. Because I've seen that formula happen before and it turned out bad. I could almost say now, he's off the bullshit. The things that goes viral these days are good shit. It's nothing that I could be like, oh, this is gonna end up bad. And I'm super happy and proud of him. He's also shown that other newer rappers, he's one of the better rhymers. He's one of the better lyricists. You get me? Like, he raps. So I have him really high up, but I gotta go with Cole as well. Like, this is Cole's year, man. Like, this year I felt whatever Kendrick's doing, because we got an APBI on him. He's on the milk carton. We gotta find him, right?
He's doing karate. He's good.
No, I seen him in studio with Roddy Ricch recently.
Okay.
Yes, I got that picture. We looking for the geotags. But, okay, Kendrick's a little bit, he's working on some shit. Drake, he just went through a hell of a year in 2018, beefing, album, kid, this and third. He's also trying to prepare his next album. Cole came in at the right time of anyone who was doing it on not only just a musical term, but an exec term, and also just features. Like, he did everything.
Right.
He covered all the bases. I don't see how we could deny him this year, so I got Cole again.
Wow, I don't remember, but I really hope this card says Cole then, or else I'm gonna look a little bit crazy right now. Ladies and gentlemen,
You don't fucking Cole
2019 award for MVP of the year goes to Jermaine Cole. Congrats.
Shouts out to Cole and Dreamville.
All right, guys, that's award number 8. That means you only have 2 to go. 2 to go. What do we have left? Our next one is Song of the Year. So, in this hyper streaming era, a great song can blow up overnight, taking on a life of its own, or it can become an unlikely smash thanks to a well-timed viral challenge. But which ones actually have staying power? Which songs will stick with us once this decade is over? These are the 2019 nominees for Song of the Year. Lil Nas X featuring Billy Ray Cyrus, Old Town Road remix. DaBaby with Suge. Lil Tecca, Ransom. Chris Brown featuring Drake, No Guidance. And J. Cole, Middle Child. Drake won this one last year with In My Feelings. Of course, that was a mega hit. for him.
What
Shout
was
out
that?
to Shiggy. Huh?
What was that you just did?
I just played in my mind, bro. Just
All
relax,
right, that
though.
was kind
Oh
of
my
crazy.
God.
Yeah, you too thugged out to like.
Nah, I'm just saying that was crazy. But go ahead.
I missed
No
it.
wonder
though.
y'all be treating Shiggy like that, man. I'm gonna tell Shiggy to stop hanging with y'all New Yorkers. For real, man. Y'all treat Shiggy like he's bad.
Oh man.
All right.
When you hear the song In My Feelings, you don't hear it kind of like, Kiki, do you
Oh,
know?
that's what he just did?
Okay,
All right,
alright.
your other contenders last year included Juice WRLD, so he had Lucid Dreams. Remember, Kendrick and SZA had All the Stars, and Sicko Mode, mega hit, and XXX had Sad. All right, so our contenders for this year, guys. Was this a category?
It's only one for me, dog.
Oh, word?
It's only one for me.
It's not, oh, let me guess, Old Town Road remix?
No, it's not Old Town Road remix. Why?
You
Because
are a big Lil Nas X proponent here.
No, he loves Billy Ray Cyrus. What are you talking
What the
about?
fuck is wrong with both of y'all? Wait, so look, no. It's only Suge for me. It's only Suge for me. And the reason why it's only Suge for me, why I love No Guidance. I mean, Old Town Road, dope song, way better video than the song. Video is way better than the song, right? Look with Lil Tecca Ransom, that's cute. You know what I mean?
You sound like act now.
Disrespect.
I'm just
That's
keeping it
cute with
100.
your
That's
little
it.
hit.
Disrespect.
You know what I mean?
I'll get to it.
No guidance, a banger. Suge had everybody. We gotta keep in mind, DaBaby is from a place that people typically don't care much about. Charlotte, North Carolina, right? He put on for a whole market. You can make as much face as you want. He put on for a whole new market, and he had a top 10 record, all by himself, no help, right? He made it on his own. Also mixed with the year that he's having, and everybody doing that dance. I give it to DaBaby.
Okay, what was that
give it
face
to
for,
DaBaby.
Ak?
Cause Ak
He
is
was
a-
making
No.
good points over here.
No, you know why?
What?
Because we fought about this a million times
did.
when we were
True.
trying to get the nominees.
Okay.
So
Actually, like, I remember I had to get all fucking, like, pulling down Stats Center.
he pulled out stats.
No, there was, hold on. I'll give, since he didn't do it, because
Okay.
he only wanted to talk about Suge, and I'm going to get to Suge.
Go ahead.
But he also, honorable mention is Roddy Ricch Ballin'.
Ballin', that was my
Roddy
yeah.
Ricch and DJ Mustard Ballin'.
Yes, that's my
I
favorite
actually
song.
said you have to put Ransom by Lil Tecca. As much as you are right, culturally wise, and this is how, you know, when it comes to a show like this, and this is what people have to understand about award shows in general. There are people behind, these aren't automated, just like, hey, the stream's this, or this and third, or hey, this person we just all like, and we don't like this person. It's a really mixed bag. How Wayno looks at shit is different, like how I look at stuff, right?
Very.
So Wayno, don't do that, Wayno. Don't do that. Don't do that. So with Suge, from DaBaby, like he's thinking about the cultural impact, how like that song was not only spurred DaBaby's movement, but like everybody's doing the dance, all that. I looked at, man, a kid from SoundCloud dropping a song, and that song jumping all the way up to the top 5, and Juice WRLD has to get on it. And might not be the most culturally impactful song, but I thought Ransom by Lil Tecca had to get in there. If y'all wondering, that's why Ballin' by Roddy Ricch is not in there, so don't kill me.
Okay.
But let's really go through this, right?
Okay.
Old Town Road, I feel like despite what you think about the song, whether you think it's hip-hop or not, you know, it's hip-hop in basically by just inclusion after a while.
It's a good song. It's a good song.
At first, the country audience was saying it wasn't, so we got to accept it because, you know, we niggas. So, that's true. So, like, it was a really good song, you know, and suits to Lil Nas X. So, this is where I get into this debate, and this is why I look at Wayne like he's full of shit.
What?
Wow.
So, we're really at 3. I'm eliminating Tecca.
Okay.
I'm eliminating Old Town Road. We're
Okay.
at Shook by DaBaby. We're at No Guidance with Drake. And
And Chris Brown, yes.
You said 2 or 3.
and Chris Brown.
Right, and?
then Mill Child by J.
Okay.
Cole. I get what you're saying in terms of like cultural impact, but this is my only thing. And if y'all watch this show, when we argue about a lot of stuff and you see Wayno's positions, his position is always a place that kind of like revolves and like levitates the inner city over everything else.
He said levitate the interview. Where is this going? What's good?
Listen to me. I'm
Wrap
bringing-
it up, B.
Nah. Bring
Come
it up.
on,
Bring it up.
it's
Bring it up.
good. I want to know why.
Yeah.
No, bring it up.
Yo,
bring it
I'm
up.
glued.
Even when we're talking about Meek.
Okay.
And I said, yo, Meek ain't a top rapper in certain senses. You're like, what?
I say
Meek
he's a
control
legend.
the streets.
He's a
And I'm
legend.
like, that's cool, but that's not the whole entire rap. So I know, like, for you, that is so essential. He has to be included. So I understand why you're going for DaBaby.
So why the hell is we including Lil Tecca anyway?
No.
If that's the case.
No. I'm saying that's your perspective.
Okay.
So I understand why you're going for Shook by DaBaby.
Okay.
I just don't believe Suge, even though it's a great song, is bigger than No Guidance. And I don't think it's as impactful or really has done more than Mill Child by J. Cole. I'm going with, again, I sound like a Cole fanatic. I'm going with Cole, I'm going by Mill Child from J. Cole. But even if I had a second pick, it would be by Orbs and
All right. Yo, this is a special day at Everyday Struggle and Akademiks. Sounds like the Cole fanatic. But Wayno, were there close contenders for you, or was it Suge by a landslide?
You know why I'm saying Suge by a landslide? Because, of course, we talking about a rookie. We talking about a rookie competing with people. Cole and Drake have 10 years in the game. Though, I mean, Cole has over 10. Drake has over 10.
Don't penalize him.
Fucking Chris Brown, 15, whatever the case may be, right? You know why I'm going with Suge? I'm gonna tell you why I'm going with Suge. There's not a place, wait a second. There's not a place you could have went where you didn't hear Suge. I went to Post Malone's show in the Garden. You know who he brought out? DaBaby. You know what he did? Suge. You know what all them white people in there was doing? This. So that's impact on not just the inner city and levitating the inner city and all that shit. That's impact on a broader scale.
I'm surprised
So
how
stop
strongly
it.
against this you are, Akademiks,
Stop
to be
it.
honest.
No, because you know why we were looking stuff up and he didn't want Ransom to be included. Let's be clear.
Because I wanted Ballin',
All right, hold
which
on.
is a way better song.
But Ransom had more streams
Yeah,
than
we're talking about the
Suge
impact
and
of
Ballin'.
numbers.
Yeah,
No.
Fine.
It's everything though. Me, I look across the board. Wayno
That's like
is
talking about
always-
efficiency rates when you're talking about basketball. Like, come on,
Wayno,
stop it.
I evaluate everything. I know you're gonna be biased towards Suge. That's why I'm telling you, J. Cole Millchild got this, bro. This is like, again, I know you want to knock it because he's a legend, this and third.
I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying.
Yo, I'm giving
Baby deserves it
He deserves
because
the nomination, dog.
no, the Baby deserves it because he's come a long way. When
What do you think
Suge
is the-
dropped,
hold on, let me
when
ask you a
Suge,
question.
wait, when Suge dropped, when that fucking record dropped, bro, did anybody predict for it to be in a top 10? Did it sound like a top 10? No Guidance. We knew what No Guidance was going to do. We knew that regardless.
Wayno Millchild's gonna get that. Don't
Wait
do
a
that.
second,
Don't
wait a
do that.
second. Everything J. Cole does reaches top tier.
It's a freestyle.
Everything
Throw
he
it.
does, though. Everything he does. He could rap about anything. It goes top tier. Lil Tecca, let me not put. Old Town Road, greatest, according to numbers, greatest song of song history.
Right. We're not just counting numbers here. We can't.
DaBaby got influence on both sides, and he crossed over very early. I feel like he crossed over very early. Because of Suge, he's able to do bop, with like all the things you praising him for, where he's doing like the musical, he's able to do that because of Suge.
Okay, and because of Millchild, Dreamville had a fucking hell of a year,
Wow.
and Cole is a fucking MVP.
I think I should have
Put
put
some
the envelope.
respect. Hey,
This is getting
listen,
heated.
man. I don't know what club Wayno was in when he first heard Suge and seen everybody doing the dance, but it knocked in his fucking brain at that point that was the biggest song.
I'm
in
not
the
gonna
fucking,
lie, the Post Malone example, that kind of helped, bro.
That's the Garden though. Like he was in some.
What do you mean that's the Garden?
Though.
No,
What
no,
would Russ say about this?
No.
What if it was a Staples Center
Because-
then?
no.
It was the Staples Center that it
You know
would
why?
have been cool.
Because
What?
I don't think Wayno is really getting like his the passion to fight for a song like that from what's going on in the Garden. I think he's in some spot where he's seen.
I'm just saying, I've
he's
seen it
He's
I've
seen
seen
how
it
East Side
everywhere.
niggas move to that shit.
Cookouts.
There you go.
No, but I'm saying it everywhere. Cookouts, the streets.
All the places
Post Malone shows.
you're not at.
Fucking go
go
to
to
a basketball, go to a
don't
lake
go
All
to
right,
cookout.
you know what? We gotta wrap this one up, but
Fuck outta
obviously, wow, things are getting more heated as the show goes. Let us know what you think about our pick. The
And by the
envelope
way,
has
it
the
sounds like
answer.
I'm hating on shit
No,
now,
you're not
but
hating.
I
I'm just
feel like
surprised
Wayno
how-
was going too hard for it.
Okay. If that's
Wayno's
your,
going
if
too
that's
hard
your,
for
if that's
Suge.
your
Ak is
defense, I'll
going
take
too
it.
hard for Cole. This is a crazy time at Everyday Struggle,
It's a
man.
crazy
All right,
time.
should I open the
And he got no
envelope
respect
now?
for Ransom.
All right, you relax. Just relax. It made it to the
I got
nominees.
black, I got
He sounded
white,
sad
what
when he
you
said
want?
It made it to the, are you about to cry
has
again?
no
Like,
No,
respect
I'm
for
just
Ransom.
telling him. You know, your son's favorite song is probably Ransom.
It's not.
I got black, I got white. What you want?
My son is on Rod Wave heavy
Hop
right
aside
now.
the ghost and hop up in the Phantom.
Come on, Desmond.
I need quiet to open the envelope.
All
Y'all
right.
are too distracting. All right,
Can't
man.
multitask?
Lord, no. Just like a man, I cannot multitask. And
Oh,
the
hell no, it's
2019 award for Song of the Year. This is what we picked? I'm shocked. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think this is what we
What
picked.
up?
After all of this fighting, the 2019 award for Song of the Year, Chris Brown featuring Drake. No guidance.
I didn't know that's what niggas picked. Oh my God, I'm hot right now.
Oh, it's the biggest song.
Yo.
You think we're gonna go a whole
Wow.
goddamn award show and not give Drake an award?
Yo, mind
So was y'all
you,
niggas.
we picked this unanimous. How did we? All right.
I totally forgot that
No.
one.
I'm gonna tell you why this happened. We spent so much time fighting between
over the songs that should have been in there.
Ballin' shook, because at a point I was
Roger
like,
picked this one.
Yo, I need the
Nuh-uh.
yo. I understand why Beyonce has a fan. I'm sweating right now, man.
Team Breezy.
Wow, that was okay.
Team Breezy actually, you know.
That was the
they made
most
this happen.
surprising moment of this award show for me personally. All right, here we go. Is this our final award?
And by
This
the
is
way,
Final
crazy.
award.
we really downplayed the fact that like No Goddess is them coming back together. They were beefing for a long time.
That was, yeah.
You talking about
Yeah, the
moments.
debacle in the club and all that.
Exactly.
How could we forget? All right, ladies and gentlemen, our final award of the year celebrates the albums that broke through the avalanche of releases to really make an impact. The cohesive projects that balance skillful lyricism with captivating beats, the albums that made us think, cry, dance, and of course gave us quotables for days. These are the 2019 nominees for Best Hip Hop Album. J. Cole and Dreamville with Revenge of the Dreamers 3, Rapsody with Eve, YBN Cordae, The Lost Boy, Young Thug with So Much Fun, A Boogie with Hoodie Season, 21 Savage, I Am Greater Than I Was, Boogie's Everything for Sale, DaBaby, Baby on Baby, Tyler the Creator's Igor, and Meek Mill's Championships. So in 2018, Pusha T took this one with Daytona, a great album.
Can I start by saying I feel robbed
By
again? Listen, I'm gonna throw my little honorable mention out there.
You know what he's about to say.
Fought long and hard for YNW Melly. We all shine to be on this list. And after they tried to screw me on a technicality saying it was a project, I do believe I should open it up to the audience. Should we cover mixtapes and albums or just have a project thing? So YNW Melly was not in it.
It's gonna
I
be
love
hard
this
to
project.
tell the difference because artists are sometimes confused as well.
Well, let the audience decide on this
Okay.
one. I just want to throw that out there. Regardless, for the ones that were nominated, I was pleased with a few. 21 Savage project, which dropped in December. I feel like December is a tough time for all albums to drop. And we have 3 nominated that was dropped last December, which means clearly they stood the test of time. Meek Mill Championships. We have 21 Savage, I Am Greater Than I Was. And we also have Hoodie Season by A Boogie.
Which was a
that
great
was
album.
what was dropped all last year. All of those albums had their time at number 1. And you know, one of the albums that's outside of that I did want to shout out is Boogie's Everything for Sale, because while it might not have all the accolades, and for the people listening, I'm not A Boogie, Everything for Sale. His album, like quality wise, it deserved to be on this list.
Yep.
You know, like last year, one of the reasons why we chose the winner wasn't just off of accolades or what it sold, it was about how good it was. You get me? So, salute to Boogie on that one. You know, Igor, that's them niggas. But I also do have to shout out to Young Thug, So Much Fun. Because commercially, that album is the one that's going to set him up for everything that comes after, and I really enjoyed it. And also, I just have to say, YBN Cordae with Lost Boy, I have to give him another salute because, again, I did not think his album was going to be... I thought it was going to have a letdown. I thought it was going to have moments, but not be complete.
Fair enough.
And because it's tough making a fucking debut album. You know, like most people be having their debut album for so long.
Not when you're a
And
student of the game.
Yeah.
He
he did
cares.
it. So
so-
that's my overall thoughts going in.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
So other honorable mentions, I got to throw in Marlon Craft, Funhouse Mirror, and Coda the Friend Photo, also a great album. Now, Wayno, your thoughts?
Wow. So, of course, I mean, we even crunched a lot of albums for this. You know what I mean? Swapping things in, swapping things out. Tyler Creator, Igor, is one of my favorite albums. While it might not include a bunch of raps, like Akademiks say all the time, it's just beats and shit.
Sure, Cardi had a great verse on there.
It is a really dope body of work as far as musically. Meek Mill Championships. I remember we had like this debate last year on like, could we consider it because it was so early? And now I wish we would have considered it. You know what I mean? Because when I look at what it was up against last year, I feel like it probably could have took home album of the year. Yeah, I think it could
Over
have.
Daytona Victory Lap?
Yes, yeah. I mean, Victory Lap, you know, salute, rest in peace to my man Nipsey. Great album, but I like Championships more, just from a rap perspective. Because I also feel like Championships is a defining moment for Meek Mill in his career. Then getting into Thug, So Much Fun. You know how much I praise So Much Fun.
Yeah.
Like, I really love that album. I don't think it's an album that I've listened to more this year in the short amount of time it's came out.
But yo, do you like the Rocket Man remix yet?
No, I do not
All right.
like
I'ma keep
Rocket
trying.
Man. Y'all
Still
are
fire.
not going to make me
Still
like that
fire.
album.
Wayno's
Okay.
a new Young Thug fan.
I'm not a new Young Thug fan. I'm
I
not
ain't buying it.
Whatever. I'll take that. You're a new fan of the shit. Every
He's just
time
really
I bring it up.
salty over Suge for some reason.
Yeah, he's super
Just-
salty over Suge.
No, I'm just so salty that Wayno's in so much. Actually, it's not only Wayno. I really am so shocked that everybody is just like acting like Thug wasn't at this level before.
Nobody's saying that he's not at that level, but what he did is better than.
We
the
just
other
wanted
stuff
him
that
to
he
have
did.
his commercial
I'm
moment,
one of
but
those
he's had
people-
better songs historically.
Like, I'll
Can I
admit the
finish my
bias.
thoughts
Oh, go
on the
ahead, nigga,
album,
go ahead,
dog?
nigga.
Damn, man. Stu, yo. YBN Cordae. I mean, my man YBN Cordae. I knew he was going. I didn't know what the music was going to sound like, but I was very confident in him just because of his ability. You know what I mean? Like I posted YBN Cordae before he was YBN, just randomly seeing him on World Star, and he's met every expectation that I've had from him. My honorable mention is, Freddie Gibbs. You know what I mean? Freddie Gibbs Bandana. And there's a lot of other albums that could go in there, but like for me, my favorite album this year is So Much Fun by Thug.
You got anything,
What you got? Yeah,
anything
get
salty
it out
to
now,
add
dog.
before
No.
Okay.
I do think that's a very stellar album. I think there's all good albums to be to really be recommended. I got to salute to Rapsody Eve as well.
Absolutely.
I got to go with 21 Savage Project, just because this is why I'm not gonna pick Meek's album. I ain't gonna lie, man. Them two albums that Meek dropped before this one. This nigga, you could tell he thought like his career and his life was about to be over. And he was going so hard, and this was a little bit more polished. Of course, he reconciled with Drake. He had some good moments on it. But like, I be judging a lot of artists off their old shit. And this is why I'm going with my winner, which is 21 Savage. I've seen so much growth and development with him. He's getting better as, I'm not gonna call him a lyricist, but somebody who is using words to tell a story. He's getting better with that. You get me? The beat selection I thought was amazing. I think he went outside of his comfort zone a little bit too, and he tried to even approach certain topics that usually if you were just fans of him from Savage Mode, like he's not touching. So I saw a lot of growth in him, and I thought it was a very good album for someone who was growing. So I'm going with him as my winner.
Okay. Our biggest award of the night, guys. So Akademiks has picked his winner, Wayno has picked his winner, and now I will tell you the winner. All right, here we go.
Who's your winner?
You act. You're the one.
Lil Ack.
Lil Ack. All right, guys. Everyday Struggle, the 2019 award for hip hop album goes to Young Thug. So much fun.
So much fun.
Congrats to Thugger. It's been a journey. It's been a journey.
Hey, in terms of growth and in terms of like leveling up, he's someone who leveled up on his album as well. So.
No, he's been floating though.
How you been floating, man?
Okay, but numbers,
I'm so
man,
mad.
you always appreciate some good statistics.
He did everything right. Akademiks. He did everything right.
I just hate the newcomers.
Can
to
you
the
guys make up?
bandwagon.
We welcome Wayno to the Young Thug
Hey, let me
fandom
tell
club.
you, when you're fans of certain artists, when the mass waves start coming in, you start kicking them out like.
Hold up, y'all. You gonna stop sitting here acting like I ain't listening to no fucking Young
season,
Thug.
nigga. Stop it.
Oh, please, you gotta stop acting like that. I didn't like Rocket Man, and now I don't like Young Thug at all.
All right, fine.
He was rocking with him when he was dropping Slime Season 1, Slime Season 2.
Absolutely.
I'm
Part of
up.
6, yeah.
Part of 6.
Oh, I was rocking with him when he was with Pee Wee Longway doing videos in the kitchen with AK-47s. What are you talking about?
Stop it.
You
Yeah.
gotta let this one go.
Stop.
You
You
gotta
gotta
let
let it
this
go.
one go.
You gotta let it
we
go.
We gonna keep quizzing. We gotta figure if Wayno is even deserving to be in the Thugger High.
Oh my God.
The disrespect, man. All right, guys, thank you so much. Those are all of our awards for the year. Really, thank you for helping us to celebrate the artists who we thought really showed up and put their best work out this year. But before we go, we also want to remember the talented creatives that we lost in 2019. Rest in peace.
Yes.
thank you so much for watching the 2019 Everyday Struggle Awards. I'm gonna let Akademiks take this in away in a minute because he's the king of speeches, but you guys never get to see the people behind the scenes who get up at 5 a.m., 4 a.m. every day, get on the train and commute in this cold, dark weather to make the show happen. This is the crew I want to give love. Shanice, Andrew, Dre, Dory, AJ, Craig, help me out guys, Christina, Jordan, everybody, Roger, our producer. Thank you so much. We appreciate you guys. You'll never know how much.
Yes, Al.
Yeah.